That is a lot of stuff. What's up guys? Another video from Gersel, Sweden. I'm still at their place. I'm gonna stay here until Friday the, I think the 30th of September. And then I'll leave from here and start cycling north towards Norway. And yeah, right now I laid out all of my stuff because a lot of you guys asked, what do you bring on your trip? And I gotta say, it is quite a lot. Yeah. I also want to say that you should not pack the way that I'm packing. Like, this is way too much stuff. So this is pretty much everything that I brought from Holland and brought it all the way here to Sweden. And yeah, on the bed there are some items that I'm gonna leave here. I'm not gonna bring them further on the trip. They're gonna stay here. Also some small things that are coming this way from Holland that I forgot to bring and I would like to have now. I'll mention those at the end, but yeah, let's actually start right now. So the first pile is this right here. This is basically everything that's on the bike. This is not in a pannier or anywhere. It's or on me or on the bike itself. This is my sleeping pad. This I basically use to, on the bike, I have it on the rear rack like this. The big backpack is on top of this. And in there is all my electronics, my laptop, that kind of stuff. And this really absorbs those shocks from the bike and protects the electronics and stuff. Function number 2 of this thing is in my tent. You can just basically lay it out like this. And this thing goes underneath my sleeping mat, which is about this thick. It's an inflatable mat. And this is basically there for heat reflection. You know, this is like a reflective part. So this reflects the heat in those cold nights. It's really handy for that. Behind that, this is my tripod. This is the Manfrotto B3. It's pretty much on top of the rucksack, pretty much all the time under the bungee cord. So this is the bungee cord. My phone, which is on the bike for navigation and just, you know, general stuff, music, that kind of stuff. This is my pen leg protector that I leave on the outside of one of the panniers. I just strap them on the ties or on this thing. This is what I use when I have my rain pants on or other long pants. So it goes like right here, and it protects my pants from going into the chain and the cassette that's right next to it. So that's why I have that thing. This is my wallet. I also keep that in my pocket. I left it on the side of the road once. That video is still to come. It's I think number 14 or 15 in Denmark. I left it on the side of the road. It was a really stupid move, but I was changing pants and I put it out of my pocket. And yeah, I didn't pick it up afterwards. Bike key. This is my Garmin Edge, my odometer, and it also keeps track of my route, that kind of stuff, really handy. This is in a little pocket that's like, if you have your handlebars here, it's like right on the main bar. This is an extra power bank, kind of like emergency power bank for my phone. And this is the phone cable that's on top of that, in that little pouch. Sunglasses. Then we have my bike gloves, which are really nice. They have like a pad on the inside, so that's for extra comfort. My helmet, of course, it's the Giro Revel helmet. Really nice helmet. Then I got 3 water bottles. On one water bottle I put some markings of milliliters, but I never really had to use that, so that's kind of there. Alright, then we go across the room to the handlebar bag, which is this thing. This thing goes in front of my handlebars. And yeah, it's a really nice bag. In here I put all of my quick access stuff. So I got some sunscreen, a GoPro camera when it's rainy outside or when I want to do some really wide angle shots. This is the GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black Edition, by the way, so it's a little bit of an older model, but I think it's still pretty good. Allen key, some lip balm. This is a key for the pannier. So the pannier here on the back has a little tab here, and there on the bicycle it has a little hook here that you can unturn so that it opens and turn in so that it kind of is closed off. So there's the key for that one. Then I have a pen. This is my buff. This I use mainly to put on top of pretty much all of these items. and my compact camera rests on that, so it's kind of has a soft ground. For the rest, I use this to wipe off like the lens and stuff like that. But I've never really used it on my face, so you can put it on your face and it protects your mouth from dust and that kind of stuff. Then I have another spare bike key. This is the snout bag that my DSLR camera, which is right here, my DSLR camera goes into. And this thing goes then into the handlebar bag. And then this is for, in here is a gradient ND filter and a ND filter. I've never used that, but I do want to give it a try, you know, for beautiful landscape photos. This is the adapter ring that has to go on the lens of the DSLR camera. This has to go on top of on that, and then in here you can slide your filters, so that's what I use that for, but I've never used it yet. I've got this thing. This is my knife, so it unfolds like this. So there you go. This is my knife that I use to cut my bread with and some other things, so that's also in front. These are my spare batteries that I pretty much use all the time. I pretty much rotate between batteries. The ones that are empty go to the big battery, which is in another bag to get charged up. So I got 2 extra DSLR batteries, 2 extra GoPro batteries, and 3 extra, I think actually 4. I think I put one somewhere, but here I got 3 extra Canon, the camera I'm shooting with right now. This is the G7X. And this camera also goes in this bag on top of this thing, so that's that. And this is my baby camera, the Canon 70D. This is what I use for when I do those riding shots. So I have it on a tripod and then I ride past the shots. That's why I use this camera mainly for. I also use this for my photography, so that's really nice. The lens that's on there right now is an 18 to 135mm lens, so it can zoom pretty far. I really like this lens because it's very versatile and I pretty much leave this on all the time. Only on special occasions. I got 2 other lenses that we'll go to in just a bit. Right next to it we have the rear left pannier. This one carries a lot of my winter gear, toiletries, that kind of stuff. Sorry, these I forgot to get. These are my normal shoes. So these shoes I usually wear when I'm a day off or when I'm in a hostel or something like that and I just want to go to the store or something, then I use those shoes. And these are my bike shoes that I wear pretty much all the other times. Shimano with some SPD cleats. I don't know the exact model number. I don't know if it's on there. But yeah, these are just Shimano bike shoes, which are really nice. All right, back to the pannier. So I got my shoes that typically go into this Eastpak backpack. This used to be my school backpack, where I used to carry my books in for school. But it's a really rugged, really nice backpack. It lasts like forever. Basically, it's a really nice thing. In the front flap of this backpack, I carry my I've got night lenses, and they're like normal contact lenses. They're just a little bit of a different material, and I put them in during the night. So I put them in when I go to bed, and then in the morning I take them out and I see pretty much sharp during the day. I just got 1 pair. They pretty much last me 1 full year, and I need to replace them in a half a year. So in half a year, if I'm not back in Holland, I pretty much have to go back to Holland. We'll see at that time how things are going. But yeah, this is some thorough cleaning stuff that I should use every month. But I haven't used it on the trip until I think I'm gonna do it maybe tonight or tomorrow. This is some extra cleaning stuff for my night lenses. And this is an extra can of shaving cream. I have 1 other canister in my toiletry bag, which is also in this pannier, by the way. This is my thick fleece jacket that I wear during the night or when it's really cold. Really nice one. I got 2 pairs of extra warm socks. This is a warm thermo pair of pants and a warm thermo, kind of like a sweater thing. I haven't worn these yet, but I think when it gets colder I will wear these underneath, you know, my normal clothes. This is my big towel. It's a camp towel, microfiber towel, which is really nice. These are my flip-flops. These also go into the East backpack. I use this during the night, you know, just really nice pair of flip-flops. And this is my toiletry bag. Right now it's empty. I got all my toiletries in the bathroom. But basically, you know, your shampoo, that kind of stuff. And I also have my lens stuff in here and lens fluid, that kind of stuff. And then most of the time I also have this in this pannier, just, you know, an extra bag for garbage or for dirty clothes when I bring them to laundry, that kind of stuff. So that's really nice. That is pannier number 1. Pannier number 2 is the rear right pannier. It is also, the model is the Ortlieb back roller. This is the Pro edition with this flap, and yeah, it's basically the biggest one, I think. And they're completely waterproof as well, except for this front flap, where I most of the time just keep my food. I used to carry my solar panel in the front, but that one I don't bring anymore, so it's at that pile, but we'll go to that in just a bit. This is my sleeping bag. Right now it's in the big pouch, the big sack, but I can compress it onto this sack, so it's about, I don't know, like smaller than this at least. Quite a bit smaller, but I leave it in this one so it isn't all compressed all the time, because I heard when you leave this sleeping bag in the compressed bag for too long, then when you open it up, it won't fully inflate itself with air, basically, because it's a down sleeping bag, but it uses air to insulate. So that's why I keep it in that one for now. This is my inflatable sleeping mat that I sleep on. This is a sleeping, kind of like a liner. When I go to bed, I first get into this one. It's kind of like a sleeping bag, but then without the insulation and stuff, just yeah, kind of like a sheet. And then I go into the big sleeping bag, so that one stays kind of clean, and I can just put this in laundry and clean this off, which is nice. Then this is all of my tent stuff. This is the groundhog, so this is kind of like the footprint, the outer layer, tent poles. In here I have my rain fly and my tent stakes. These are together in a waterproof bag. Then I carry the inner tent separately in its own bag, like that. This is my pillow, inflatable pillow. These are my extra pair of glasses. Until now I haven't had to wear these, but when, here, these are my old, they're very old glasses, by the way. Whenever my lenses are irritating, then I can't put them in during the night, and the next morning I see shit, then I can put these on to still be able to enjoy the nice views and that kind of stuff. This is my camp light. So this is, I hang this up kind of above the entrance of the tent. It's a really nice camp light. It just has this mode that I just do not understand. Why does that a strobe mode? Like, I don't know. It's a Chinese made thing, so I think that's why. Then I also carry some wet lube on the outside, in the outside flap here, so I can access that quickly and easily. This is also going on the outside my chain lock. So this is an AXA, pretty, it's not too heavy, but it works. This is with the loop, so you put this through the loop, and then this thing goes into the lock that I have on the bike, which works out great. Then also in this pannier I carry my pajama. So this is my pajama shirts. I can also use this as a kind of nice shirt whenever I need to. And this is my sleeping, yeah, some sweatpants that I like to sleep in. Then we go to my kitchen pannier. This is the front right pannier. In this I keep my camp stove and my fuel bottle. This is the fuel bottle. It's the MSR fuel bottle. Right now I carry white gas in this, and in here is my MSR Dragonfly camp stove that connects to this thing via a little pump mechanism on the top. You have to pump this, so there's some pressure in here, and then via tube it goes to the stove. Then I have 2 pots and 1 pan. So this just goes out like that, and then you can use this to cook. And then I have a pan in here. I think there's nothing in there. So these are my cooking pans. And this is kind of like, I also trimmed down what was in here quite a bit. I only use the lighter that's in here, and that's pretty much it. So in here I have scissors, a little spatula thing to cook with, can opener, 2 still empty kind of like a spice containers, which have 2 compartments each. But I haven't filled them up yet. I do want to do it, you know, with some salt and pepper and stuff like that, but I haven't done that yet. This is my lighter, and I also have, when I want to make a fire, I got like a flint and steel kind of thing. So this sparks when you put this together. It makes a spark. Kind of like a cool survival item, you know, when this runs out or something and I have to make a fire, then I can use that thing. In here I got some miscellaneous items. This is a knife sharpener, and in here some repair items for the MSR stove. But yeah, I had a lot more, like a teaspoon, that kind of stuff. I had it all in here, but that's right now on the pile to be sent home. I also had like a big cutting plate, like it was like almost this big. Well, it's over there now. Go to that in just a bit. And that thing I actually never used, so it was kind of useless, and it was a big thing. So yeah, I decided to get rid of it. This is the cleaning. So in here, this is a smaller cam towel, a little sponge, and then this cup that I use to drink liquids out of. Or yogurt with muesli. That's what I mainly use it for. And this is some cleaning, cleaning fluid for the pans. And this is pretty much all my leftover food that I got. There are also some items that I bought here for when I go on the road again. So some muesli again, digestive cookies. This is what I already had. So some taco, spice mix. Still I got. This is still all raisins from home. Like, I got way too many raisins. Trail mix, some more muesli, and some rice. I basically put everything of food in these Ziploc bags so I can close them, which is really nice. I really love Ziploc bags. Like here I got some pasta. I use these for here. I got some extra Ziploc bags. Some more pasta. And this is some mashed potato that I also got here, as well as some stock blocks or something, you know, when I stew. That's a tip that I got, is you can put this together when you're cooking rice, so it adds some little taste to it, which is nice. And I got a random tomato there as well. Alright, so that was pretty much all of the cooking items. This is the clothing, pretty much the wardrobe pannier. And I got some repair stuff in here too. So the front panniers, by the way, are Ortlieb Sport Packer Plus. These don't have the rolling mechanism. These just, you know, they have an inner sack, and then this thing goes over the top, like kind of like a top layer. I do prefer this over the roller because this is just a little easier to open and close every time, and the roller is kind of like you have to roll and you have to keep that roll tight when you put the lip over the rolling part, and then you have the 2 on the side. I don't know, but I like this a little more. But these don't have the the front flaps here, the flaps at the side that I actually also really like. So I'll just keep the setup that I have right now. These are 2 winter gloves. When I get further up north, I do want to get some really warm winter gloves, but I don't have those yet, so I'll just use these. I haven't had to use them yet. These are some cleaning microfiber towels for when I want to clean the chain. I just bought these because I thought I was going to clean the chain, but then it rained and that kind of stuff, and it never really happened. But I think I'll do that sometime soon. This is my hat, my winter hat. These are my rubber gloves that I use when I'm working on the chain or, you know, fixing a tire. I use this on the famous tire fix as well, just to keep my hands clean. This is an adjustable wrench key, which is nice. Just it's not that big, so that's nice. This is my flat tire repair kit. I got 3 spare tires. I also left with these 3, so I use the patch kit as much as I can, and I think after maybe 3 or 4 punctures, then I'll replace them with one of these. My first aid kit, which goes at the bottom, never used. Then we go to the clothing. I got 1, 2, 3 pairs of underwear, and I wear one right now, so I have in total 4. These are 2 pairs of socks. I wear one as well, so I got 3 pairs, and I plan to get another pair from home because I go through these quite quickly, so I want another pair. And I put my underwear and my socks in this little pouch when they're clean, and I put them in the Eastpak rucksack when they're dirty. So I kind of separate them. I've got 2 bike shorts. One that I used until now, and this one that I received from here. So my mom sent me one to this house, and that's the one I already got, because it was delivered just a few days after I left, so it was kind of stupid. But I got 2 pairs of bike pants with, here, this is their pad from the inside, so there's a little pad in there, which is nice. This is my rain stuff, so I got a pair of rain pants and my raincoat from, they're both from Vode, so Vode rain pants and the raincoat. They were pretty expensive, but worth it, I think. And this is a lightweight, I have never worn this actually, but I think I'm gonna use this as my swimming pants. Kind of like a lightweight sporting pants, pair of pants, like loose fitting, really lightweight, so I'll keep that. Pair of shorts that I pretty much wore all the time when it was warm enough to wear shorts. Really nice, like the material of this pair, and they're not so heavy, so that's nice. And this is my pair of zipper pants. I've worn this pair actually only once. I do plan to keep it, but I don't know, I just don't like the zip. I'm not in love with it. I'm also wearing a pair of pants right now. These are the ones that I bought in Bremen. Really nice, I still really like them. They're nice and light. I like the material and it doesn't look too bad, you know. This is my vest that I wear quite a lot. Just on the bike when it's a little chilly, or it's not fleece, but it's just a nice warm extra layer. Then these are my TravelingTice shirts. So we got the recumbent version, the normal version. Then I have another black pair of another black shirt that I wear sometimes. But I wear these the most, because I love these. And I chose this color deliberately because, you know, it's very visible until late at night. You can really, these colors really stick out from the rest. So these really, this really works out great. You're really visible, and yeah, that's good. Alright, so I think that pretty much covers it for that. Then we have my electronics, this is pretty much all that goes into my backpack. So the backpack is a Ayacucho Inca 45 liter backpack. All the miscellaneous items are going into this bottom pouch. So I got my laptop in a sleeve, and I got another laptop bag that has my battery and my notebooks and stuff that go into the main compartment. In this little head compartment I have some change, so you can hear it. I think those are some Danish crowns and some euros, which is pretty much useless here in Sweden. But I carry them whenever I go back to or a European, or a country that carries the euro, which is Finland. So I can use that in Finland again, and Danish crowns when I'm in Denmark again. I don't know when that will happen, but I'll keep them. So the items that go into this pouch are here. 2 extra lenses for the DSLR. This is a 50mm f1.8. I've never used this yet. Plan to use it when it gets darker because it's good in low light, but no, I've never used that one. I did use this one sometimes when I was at a big square and I couldn't get like in Hamburg. I couldn't get the whole building on camera, so this one has a little bit of a wider angle. This is the 10 to 18mm. Some spare batteries for my headlamp. This is my trigger trap. I can connect one side, connects to the phone via the headphone jack. The other one goes into the DSLR camera. And then I can use my phone as a remote, and I can also put it on time-lapse mode and that kind of stuff for the DSLR camera, so that really comes in handy sometimes. Also, when I want to make a photo of myself, I pretty much put this in there, and it shoots every second, and then I, you know, walk in front of the camera and do some poses and that kind of stuff. So I use that for that one. A plug to USB. I don't have a plug adapter because pretty much all countries that I go through, I think all of them use this type of plug. Then this is my little lock, my pet lock. I used this to lock my tent up, and in one hostel they didn't have a locker, or they did have lockers, but you had to lock them with your own pet lock, so this came in handy then too. These are my utensils, so I got a spoon, fork, and some chopsticks. I got this from China, so that's why there are chopsticks. I haven't used those yet, but I do use the spoon and the fork so frequently that I put it in this pouch instead of in the kitchen pannier. And then this is my monopod. I've only used it to mount my GoPro to it to make some selfies. Little tripod for the G7X camera. Then this is my headlamp. I bought this thing here because my other headlamp from the Netherlands broke, and it also has a rear light mode, so I can strap it to the back of my head in the dark and use it as that. This one runs on batteries, so that's why I carry batteries, but for the rest all the other lights that I have can be charged by USB, which is I think better. Now the pen. My vaccination booklet. Today I got another vaccination, which is the tick-borne encephalitis vaccination or something. I had one in the Netherlands already, but the next one you had to get a month after the first one, and I didn't know that, and it was too late, so I had to get that here in Sweden, which I did. This is my passport, Dutch passport. This is a chest mount, so I can mount my GoPro to my chest. I've used that a couple of times when I went on a ferry or something, or for a time-lapse shot. I use this. This is my SD card case. So I got some spare SD cards in here, and also some micro SD cards to normal one adapters. And I think I also have some micro SD one, yeah. So that's some extra storage when I run out. And this is my drone, the DJI Spark. It's a really cool drone. I've used the track me mode a couple of times, or the follow me mode, and it is amazing. I love this thing. It isn't as powerful as the Mavic, so it doesn't fly as fast, especially when it's windy outside. It really goes slow, but it's really nice nonetheless. This is the controller that goes with it. So you can fold these open and then clamp your phone in there. And then what I use is I use an OTG cable, this cable right here, that I plug into the controller, and then with my phone's cable I plug it into my phone, so I don't have to connect via Wi-Fi to the remote, which tends to work a little bit better, is a little bit more reliable, and you don't lose connection with the drone too much. And I got one extra battery for it, so I got one battery in the drone and one extra. Bunch of more cables. This is a SD card to USB adapter. This is my big PowerOak K2 50,000 milliamp hour battery. This thing is huge. When I charge it, I think it can last up to a week for all of my small little electronics, but I can also charge my laptop with it. But I just need a connector piece for that I lost, but it is on the way now, so it will come here in a few days, and then I can charge my laptop with this. I think it charges my laptop for about maybe 5 or 6 times. But I can charge, the camera battery as well as pretty much, all of my other electronics, and that it can last for like up to a week when it's fully charged. I don't know, I think it's almost fully charged. Yeah, 3 dots, so I gotta charge it before I leave, because I want to leave with a full battery. Then this is my hard drive. This is a 4 terabyte LaCie hard drive. This is the mini, so nice and compact. I got an ebook. I'm right now reading Stretching for Cyclists, but I just don't have much time to read. It kind of sucks, but I haven't read through it at all yet. I think I used it only once or twice in my tent during these 20 days, but I was just too busy with video and social media and keeping contact with the home front. So no, I haven't really had time to read much. This is the only book I have on here, so I need to get some books too. This is my notebook. I think I've not written anything in this one. And this is my data book. And I started writing in this notebook when I left for the Netherlands bike tour on the 22nd of May. And here are the 7 levels of camping that you guys maybe know. Yeah, that wasn't a success. And since then I pretty much wrote in it pretty much every day. But now, because I have the vlog and that kind of stuff, I kind of express my feelings this way. Here I do have European bike tour, and I do write some small notes. But what I basically do, especially here, you can see every day I put in where I went to, from where to where, the distance that I rode, and the expenses that I made, so I can every 10 days I want to give you guys a little update on the total amount of expenses and yeah, the daily average as well. So until total amount after 20 days was 687 euros and 58 cents. So that's why I use this one for. Then this is a cable to charge my laptop with the power bank, so that one goes there. And I can use that again soon, which is awesome. This is an extra copy, you can see my face, extra copy of my passport. I'll leave that an extra copy in here, and I think I also have an extra copy in one of the panniers. This is my mouse for my laptop, and this is the mouse pad. These are my earphones that actually belong here. There. I actually use those on a regular basis on the bike as well. This is my normal power adapter for the laptop that I didn't bring from home, but I had to buy it somewhere in the eastern part of the Netherlands when I lost my little connector piece. So I couldn't charge it anymore if I had a power bank, so I had to buy an adapter for like 30 or 40 bucks, which kind of sucks because I have one at home. And this is my laptop, this is my baby. This is the one I use for pretty much all of my edits. It's the Asus R55C series laptop, and it's heavy, it's big. I do want to replace it, but yeah, I don't have much money, so I kind of want to use all of my money to go on this trip, and I got some sacrifices unfortunately to make then. There's some smudge on here, and this is the sleeve that it goes into, also a Chinese sleeve that I got from AliExpress, really cheap. Just goes in here, and then this one folds up, so it's kind of protected that way. And this is the Targus laptop. This is actually the laptop bag, but in the head compartment I put my power bank with all of these cables and chargers and stuff, and I charge everything in here. And there's some bugs in there. So I keep it, you know, whenever I'm riding I could charge something along the way, which is nice, but I use it, you know, also during when I'm in a tent to charge my stuff up. And then in here I put all of my notebooks and passport, that kind of stuff goes in here. Okay, and so far these are the items that I'm gonna leave here, and that will go in October, that will go back home with these people when they drive to the Netherlands. They'll bring this with them. So I'll put this all in this bag. So these are all the small miscellaneous items. These are from the first aid kit. It's kind of like a this thing, but I'm not gonna use it. I already got some scissors, a little clip for that, some extra spice containers. Like I got 2 extra, like with 2 compartments spice containers, and 2 even more spice containers that I'm not planning to use at all, because I already got like 2, so 4. I can carry 4 spices now, which is more than enough. This is a little hook that was also in the first aid kit, not gonna use that. This is a sewing kit, a small set, but I have got no idea how to sew. And I mean, if I have, you know, something like a tear in my tent or something, I don't mind, you know. And this is like, it's not heavy, but still like, just something extra that I think I'll never use, you know. So I'll just leave it here. This is also a little thing that was in the first aid kit. I was like, what is this, you know? Not gonna use that. This was the clip that went with the solar panel. Yeah, that's a story that I'll tell you in a little bit. But yeah, this was a little carabiner hook that attached my solar panel to the back of my bicycle that I used 2 times. This is the broken headlamp. This one was actually quite expensive, quite a good brand, but it just broke. It doesn't work anymore. Well, now it doesn't have any batteries in it, but it just doesn't work. Kinda sucks. I got a smaller tube of sunscreen. I haven't put sunscreen on once. So yeah, I had 2 tubes, and I was like, you know, I can keep the big one and then the small one can go. This is the teaspoon. I haven't made tea once on the trip. I have drank it sometimes at a restaurant or something, but yeah, I'm not going to use that. This is another key for the front, for the handlebar bag. Yeah, I already got a key, and actually the lock really doesn't work at all, so kind of sucks. And I also had another extra can opener, and I already have one, so that's... And this is a pen that's quite heavy, and I already have 2 pens, so I got rid of the heavy pen. And this is the big plate that I could have used as a cutting board, but I was like, I never really cut any big vegetables, so I just make my meal simple. I don't need this thing at all. Now the clothing, I had an extra pair of long, this is like a long sports shirt with some reflective, but I'm not going to wear this. I haven't worn this and I was like, I don't need it. I don't need this thing. So this is my hat, because I have my helmet now. I don't really need this hat anymore. So yeah, it was kind of sitting in my pannier and I was like, should I get rid of it or should I keep it? But no, I'm going to get rid of it. Or should I keep it? It is kind of a nice hat though. I don't know. You know what, I'll keep this one aside. I'll keep that one aside for now. So next item, these are my running tights. I never really wear running tights at all, so yeah. And I have a tight pair of thermo underwear, so if it gets cold, then I already have this kind of material, this kind of layer, different material, but this kind of thing. So, and then this is the this is a little like a vegetable fresh holder thing, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna use this. You know, I do carry some vegetables sometimes, but then I just leave it on the outside of the pannier where it's fresh enough or cold enough, and when it rains it gets a little wet, and that's good to keep it, you know, fresh. So I don't need that thing. And yeah, this is the big one, the all power 60 watt solar panel. I did give this thing a fair try, don't get me wrong. I tested it out before I left. I left it like this pretty much for like half of the day. It was directly in the sun and it charged up my battery about halfway. Now, I also put this on the rear of my bicycle in Denmark. The vlogs are still coming up. I'll show some pictures of that right now. I was using this in Denmark. I used it twice because my big battery was running out and I was like, I need some charge. So I strapped this to the back of my bicycle, but it was kind of bent like that. And the sun sometimes was on that side, but when I made a turn it was there, or when it's, you know, foresty and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it didn't really charge up my battery at all. It really needs to be in the sun, and you need to put it in the sun for a long period of time for it to work properly. And I was like, you know, this thing is pretty heavy. And I do have another like big Power Oak battery that I can charge up wherever. And I mean, there are enough like plugs, you know, whenever I go to a public library, I think, I haven't done that yet, but I think I can charge my batteries just fine there. So yeah, I don't really need this thing. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna get rid of it. So I think I talked for long enough. I think about 40 minutes, I don't know. But anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. The next video is just gonna be, you know, following the story again. So I'm gonna ride into Lübeck and then out of Lübeck again one day. That was a good day. So stay tuned for that video. Anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video if you liked it. Please leave a comment down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.